Hi everyone, and welcome to Good Junk Mail Journal for April, May, and June of 2025. In the interest of time, I'll include any product information in the description box below, and at the end of the video there will be still shots of each journal spread. April's theme was all about rain, and luckily for me, I share Gina's love of rain. For this month, she sent out beautiful vintage wrapping paper that were shower related, which was perfect. So I put down blocks of the wrapping paper, then added a doily with this adorable collage of girls with their umbrellas and gifts. As a final touch, I added the phrase, "Look around and listen to the rain." Let's start with the left page. Gina sent this cute weather report note paper. Did you know she's a retired science teacher? This was so fun to work with. For starters, she sent one of those long to-do lists, and I cut mine down to fit perfectly into the page. And I was able to keep the April text and that little girl image. Then I filled the area with another phrase and collage flowers. I used a tempera stick to color in the temperature gauge and added a little bird on top. On the right is Gina's letter. I won't read it, but I always encourage you to watch her process videos and the story behind each and every letter and everything she lovingly includes to use in our journals. Also featured is a sticker of a larger original piece of artwork by Gina. These are so special. On the back, I made a collage from a children's dictionary. For the final April page, well, let's just say I know it's busy. And this was on purpose because I wanted to use all of these elements. It's a combination that I had in my stash as well as more elements included in our letters. Just remember, your journal can be anything you want it to be, and it should be that way. I don't have to explain it, I'm just sharing. I love each and every thing that you see here on the page, and it did take a while to put it together, and I just sat with it until it felt right. So I just want to call out the bouquet in the center of the page. I've had that for many, many years. It's a very special piece, and it's an original painting, and I'm very happy to have used it in this journal spread. And now we're in the month of May, and it's all about paper dolls. Of course, I have fun memories of playing with paper dolls as a little girl. But these days, the term paper dolls includes any image created on paper or collaged, and you'll see some examples of that in the following pages. Here I've used an illustration from a vintage pattern. As you can see, it only cost 50 cents. The So Stylish paper from Gina serves as a frame behind the little girl in red, and the two stickers on either side are originals by Gina that I purchased from her shop a while back. Then I added that heavy twill ribbon, and I even forgot I had that. Now for some fun. This layout took a while to compose, and it wasn't until I knew how I wanted to include Gina's letter that it finally came together. You'll see that in a minute. But first, Gina included a hand-drawn paper doll dress pattern for us to decorate. I covered the dress form as a focal point for this collage page. Then I used rub-on stitching, and I just love the results. You have no idea how long I've had these, and it's always good to be able to use what you have, such as this measuring tape washi. This tab is both ornamental and functional. On the far left, you will find vintage paper doll dresses from Gina, along with a stamped dress image printed on tissue paper. In the center is a neutral tone collage sheet, and it's the perfect offset for this month's sticker. I love the bright, bold red flowers, and it pops against this craft background. This pullout was a great way to feature Gina's letter of the month. The landscape orientation led me to consider cutting it across 2 pages or gluing it vertically, but I made a copy to test different ways to place the letter. And normally I have no problem tearing papers at all, but I really wanted to keep this letter intact, so I'm very happy with the way it turned out. I love this page. It was an exercise in restraint. The text underneath is a photocopy of Gina's letter that I used for placement experimentation. I initially considered it as a background for collage, but when I found some painted paper towels, I knew it would enhance the text beautifully. These paper towels were used to soak up acrylic paint, and I still can't believe I hung on to them for all these years. Anyway, they came in various colors, but this was my favorite. I applied gel medium, and once dry, I added one of my favorite pattern girls and an adorable sticker by Gina created on old printable computer labels. At first I thought it needed more, but after reflecting, I decided it was complete, and I love its rich simplicity. And here's our last layout for May. I decided to use this image as a nod to paper dolls, which is actually a stamp I designed for Art Foamies earlier this year. KP, an artist and the owner of Art Foamies, used my stamp and created a painting that she sent to me. Well, she sent me a copy that I had asked for, and I made a copy of it, cut it out into a portal shape, then added strips of collage paper to extend that portal, almost like a rainbow. I outlined it with asemic writing in gold acrylic paint, but maybe I should have used black ink, but it's okay. Then I added a bird collage created by Kelly May Krenz, and again, I just love how this all turned out. And now we're into June and all things birds. I really wanted to use this image, but I needed something to offset those bold colors. Fortunately, I remembered this by Tim Holtz. Do you have this in your stash? It's thicker than tissue and a bit waxy, but I love how the background of this page enhances the overall design without too much distraction. It's simple yet striking. Now here's another illustration I wanted to use, and it will come together when you see what follows. This butterfly girl is so lovely, and the whole idea of wings and flight really spoke to me. For this page, I created a collage of found papers, and I also had this quote by John Muir, which I think fit in perfectly. And now I hope you understand why I needed to put everything together this way. I love the style in which Gina wrote her June letter. There's so much beauty in her story, as well as the design of her letter. The movement of her words next to the butterfly girl just makes me swoon. Once again, I've taken Gina's sticker and I made a little tip-in so that you can continue to read the letter. I backed it with one of the bird images that she sent for this month, and I also bet that Gina carved those little birdies that are printed on the letter. Creating this layout took time because Gina had sent a lovely collection of bird images from a piece of vintage Hallmark wrapping paper, and I wanted to use as many of them as possible. So I decided to create vignettes on square tags by Dina Wakely, except for one. To complement the vintage images, I mixed vintage wallpaper, painted paper scraps, vintage fabrics, laces, and trims in each collage. Lastly, I used collected thread scraps to mimic nests with random words scattered throughout the pages. And I also appreciated that I didn't cover any portion of the scrapbook papers that I used in this signature. Lastly, the hand image was a gift from my friend Meg Quinlan, who designed this stencil, and it's a favorite. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll be back with the next set of good junk mail in September, and I really think this year is flying by. Till then, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.